Hello gang, Mario from the Woodfather here, wood turner extraordinaire. Okay, maybe not wood turner extraordinaire, but I have around 35-40 hours experience on the lathe now, and I thought I might share my experiences from a beginner's perspective. Now this isn't skills or technique, look to the professionals for that, but basically I just want to share some information that I wish I knew before I started wood turning. Number one, and the most important thing first, it's beyond fun. It's so well worth the money that I can't even properly put it into words. It's just a fantastic way to decompress. Like sometimes I can come out and just make shapes for an hour and then throw it away at the end, but you just feel better at the end of it. In many cases, you get to start and finish a project within a couple of hours, including sanding and polishing. Compared to all other forms of woodwork, it stands completely alone in that regard. That means you can sleep in until 10 AM on a Saturday, come outside and have a project finished by lunchtime. It's very fulfilling in that regard. Number two, EasyWood carbide scrapers. They're amazing. I absolutely love them. I didn't even know that carbide scraping tools were a thing until Timbercon introduced me to them. I was a little bit concerned and I wasn't sure if I'd be able to make all the shapes that I wanted to be able to make, but they've been an absolute godsend. It's like wood turning on the lathe on easy mode. I've had no bad experiences with them at all, and as a beginner, I can't stress enough how good it is that I don't have to worry about sharpening. It took me long enough to learn how to properly sharpen my chisels and my plane irons. I don't really want to have to learn how to sharpen curved tools now. The other thing that they are is expensive. There's no dancing around that. It's easy for me to recommend them, seeing as I was given them for free, but they are a little bit pricey. The truth is, had I paid for my own tools, I would have bought a traditional set of steel ones, and then I probably would have spent the money on a grinder so that I could sharpen them. And then after a week of not knowing how to use the tools properly and then blunting them and badly sharpening them on the grinder, I probably would have put them down and not picked them up for a very long time. Knowing what I now know, I can 100% say that I would go and spend my own money on the EasyWood carbide scrapers quite happily, and I would recommend other beginners, if they're not sure where to start, spend a little bit more money, get the carbide scrapers, and you won't go wrong. The third thing, I think the danger is talked up. I had so many people tell me, oh, you're gonna get all this stuff thrown at your face, it's gonna be terrible, you're gonna break a tooth. It really doesn't happen that way. It's more scary than it is dangerous. I have had a bunch of things fly off the lathe, but gravity's always pulled them straight down. Nothing's ever come up and at me. Now that's not to say that it can't fly at you. I'm just saying that in my experience, it's more likely to land on your toes than in your teeth. Number four, and just to be super clear about that previous point, while my experience has been that bigger pieces will generally fall straight down, that's not to say that things won't fly at your face. 100% chips and shavings will aim right for your eyes. They will be flying at you the entire time you're cutting. You must wear a face shield. It is completely non-negotiable. If you're going to turn the lathe on, wear a shield. And make sure that you buy a shield when you buy the lathe. Don't bring the lathe home and then think, oh, I'll just turn it on and test it out. If you don't have a shield, don't turn the lathe on because those chips will go straight into your eyes. Number five, the scroll chuck is something that you're going to want sooner rather than later. It only took me about 10 hours of practice between center points before I decided that I wanted to try out the scroll chuck and start making different, bigger projects. If you're thinking of buying a lathe, expect that you're going to want to buy a scroll chuck very, very soon, so probably work that into your budget right from the start. I hope that the videos that I've made have shared a little bit of the learning experience with you guys and shown what you can achieve with zero experience and zero skill. I am completely addicted now. There is no turning back.